Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday. Hooray! and for us in America, we will have a 3-day holiday. The exchanges will be closed on Monday. It's a Memorial Day from World War II. Or, I'm sorry, World War One, and then before that they it was part of the memorial of Civil War and so forth, and then it just kind of grew. And in World War II, it's all combined together. It's our May holiday. I think England does the same thing. I think, except for I think they do it today, possibly. Anyhow, that's where we are. As you can see on J4X there, we are basically hanging out the same spot we were yesterday. Let's take a look at it over here on Chicago Quant. And there is the dollar index right there. See, it's it isn't. It's lower now. You can see it's moving down. We got our green line heading down. You can see the same thing over here on Chicago Quant. I'm sorry, on J4X right there. Oop. See how the green line is trying to curve? And you can see the slow-moving yellow dashed line is still rising. And so we've got that curve going here. We've got that curve going right there. I guess we do it up top like that. You can see the curve right there. And the weekly, is aimed up and looking like a moonshot. So we must be getting towards some type of top there. We kind of figure that. Oh, let me get to the chat line. I didn't even do that yet. Robin, you should see. Let me see if I can. I'm going to send this over to you. You should see the new charts. Oh my God, it looks so great. Let's see if we can do this. Check this out. This is what he did yesterday. We're working on getting our own software. There we are. Check out where we put the pigs. It's on that. It's on your messenger, right there. And let me think. Let me open up Dukascopy. Where are you, Dukascopy? You're hiding on me. Don't do that. We'll get there in a second. And then I can see if anybody's saying, Doc, I want to see this. It's like, here I come. But wait till you see this. Matter of fact, I think I will show you what our new charts look like. Whoop. Let's kill that volume over there. Right there. There we go. So, matter of fact, you should see that. Hey, Robin. Yep, TGIF. I hope yesterday was really good. It was pretty cool. Yeah, check that out, huh? Check out the messenger. Let's see if I can pop it up over here even. I bet I can. Let's see if I go like that. I go like this. Oh, I guess, is that a dark one? Okay, here it is. So, oh, where did that go? When I double clicked on it, see if I can get it up there again. What happened there when I do that? Why does that do that? Stop doing that. Let's go like this again. Okay, yeah, here we go. Check. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Look at that. That's going to be our new one. Like that. Is that cool or what? He's working on the intraday now too. We're going to have the intraday. So it will be live, and you can do like a 3-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute, 1 hour, half hour, 1 hour, and 4 hour. So, and people can tune into it live instead of our static pictures. Little challenge on the dots, but no major shake there. I'm not really worried about it. We'll get it figured out. So you notice there's no double dots anywhere. So. And that is that, huh? Cool. All right. So you can see as the dollar index, it's trying to move down. It's been in that daily buy since the 101 area. It doesn't seem to want to let go there, does it? It's like it just keeps on rolling along. And, at this point, you can see, and the weekly, it's pretty high up. So you got to wonder, are we reaching some type of peak? You see, it did it there too. Was that the 98 area? Yeah, it's even. It's there's 90. Yeah, so it's just reaching that same peak. It could go a little bit higher. Maybe another week of this. I don't know. I guess there's with the debt ceiling situation and the summer months coming on. I know, isn't that so cool? Yeah, it is so cool. Let me see what else I can send over to you. You can see all the yakety yak that he gave me. Where is it at? The yakety yak. And if I kill that and I go like that, let's see. Oh, here we go. I'm going to copy all this and send this to you too. See if I can figure out how to do that. There we go, like that. There we go. Check this out. There we are. Look at that. Is that should warm up your weekend. Yeah. Cool, huh? All right. So, see, all those months he tortured me to do Python, and all I wanted him to do was do the work. And finally, when I just showed him I wasn't going to do it the way he wanted, he surrendered after about 4 or 5 months. Maybe it was 8 or 9 months. How long has he been torturing me on Python? Well, he's doing it now. I like that. All right. So, from the dollar index, there's a 104 now. It's coming back up into the 104s again. You can see it on J4X. The high today is 104.22. Oh my goodness, it seems to be dancing its way slow and steadily. Let's give this a refresh over here, or reload, or something like that. Reload. One day. Oh, there it is. Look at that. There you go. Now, no, that's yesterday. So let's fix today. Yeah, the dollar index keeps on inching its way up. Let's see, there we go. Is that doing it? No, that's still there. Let's see, how do we get this to show today's update again? Let's go try it one more time. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, there it goes. It filled in. Okay. Close. Yeah. Interesting. All right, so from the dollar index, where are we at? Let's get back to the messenger too. There we are. So it just looks like a few of us are here today. Mountain and Metho, they're already taking the weekend. And Benny, where's Benny? I wonder what let's take a look at Benny's product. I want to run over to the GBP AUD. I want to see what that's doing. It's just hanging out up there. That was the second win, or the third win, you know. I guess we could make a copy of that win. Copy. Copy. Okay. And then let's put that win in again right there. We don't hide when the math goes in the wrong direction. It's just a fact of life. It's just the way it is. I see, go like that again, and we go like that. Oh, what is up with this? So if I go like that, there we go, and then I go like this, and paste, and then like that. So that win was a wrong. It didn't go right, but this one made it all back. And then this one's making even more. So that's the math. And all we do is live and die by it every day, live, here at Dukascopy. No hiding from it. Reality, live. It is so cool. All right, Robin. We gonna get going, aren't we? Rock and roll, brother. All right. So from here, we'll go over and take a look at the euro and see what the euro is up to this morning. I think it's like 13 days now, or 14 days in a weekly sell. This thing's just been punched down. Let's see, where is it at? There is, yeah, right there. Let's go to And there's the euro. You see that now? It's trying to lift a little bit up today, but it's like 14 days now in a sell, 3 full weeks in a sell. Basically somewhere's in the 1.9 and change. And we got into the sell at what's that? 110. What's the close there? 110.004. And now we're trading 2.6 times lower. It's a lot. That's a good drop. Yeah. All right. And what else can we say about that? The weekly's been, pretty clean, I guess you could say. I mean, it was a good bounce, and I really doubt that there's going to be much problems with it. I forget why we had that square there. We had it there for a reason, but it's kind of, we thought that would be a support area. I think that's what that was, that square a while back, and that's what we're doing. Is we're coming down to it. We're playing with that square right in here, and that's what we had suggested back then, or somewhere's in here. We probably said look for this area. Like that. And that's where we're at now. We're back where we thought it was going to drift back to. So. What else we got going on here? All right, from there, I guess we should march over to the cable. We just looked at the cable on the GBP AUD. Let's look at the cable. Bang. Yeah, there we go. Let's look at the cable on the, where's it at? There it is, right there, the cable, and you can see, it doesn't have the same strength to go down. It's pushing, and it vacillated once here, but it definitely looks like we're going to go into the weekly sell here. With no problem. See how it's through the manifold. So, I feel pretty comfortable. I'm going to throw the line up there so that on Monday when we come in, we can see that. I don't know how long it's going to last. No one really does. Only the math knows how long it's going to last. That's the drive of this all. Is that the math tells us. As much as I'd like to whine on or ramble in word and thought, in the end result. Any question, traders don't hesitate. That's it. Remind them, Robin. Very good. As much as I'd like to ramble about all this stuff, and the end result is the math is what's telling us what to do. We can try to understand what the politicians are doing. We can try to understand what the Federal Reserve is doing, or the treasurer of the U.S. treasurer, or our finance minister, which we call the Treasury Secretary. But in the end result is that what it really comes down to is this is going to show us the real facts. And that is the fact of it all in the end. So, the cable kind of stalled out here, just kind of drifting around and finding a way to get into the weekly sell with the... wonder if it would be really fascinating if the cable, goes into a sell and then the euro, like next week or the week later, goes into a buy, kind of like a reversal thing going on, That would be kind of interesting. It's always fun to watch the mechanics of it all. That's that's the rambling that I do here. I kind of, say things about it. We're interpreting it. It's interesting. Trying to understand what the story might be. There's Janos. Hey guys. Hey Janos. Any thoughts on PCE inflation? Consumer inflation. I see the core was at 4.7 and it was estimated to be at 4.6. They say that I remember a couple of months back now. I've been saying that they feel that the core is going to be more sticky. I love the way they describe things. They described them like a very highfalutin, a very sophisticated hedge fund. They use words like sticky. Not like it's going to keep on rising. They have to say something very mellow, very low dramatic. Oh, I think the PCE is going to be sticky. Instead of saying, they're going to kick it in the ass. Looks to be boosting the U.S. dollar. Yeah, well, every time inflation raises its head, I notice that the dollar gets more, strength, and in all essence, or in all reality, in my head, I find it funny. I talked about this yesterday. I find it funny that we're the problem in some ways. In some ways. Remember, I blame the world for being socialist, too. I mean, if everybody would just stop being socialist and start being capitalist, then we wouldn't depend on the Americans all the time to basically pull the earth forward financially. And so then our leftists here take the attitude of the leftists in Europe and China, and India and wherever else crazy leftists are, and they have this, I don't know what they have in their heads, but the end result is that they choose to think that politicians can make better policy. This is what it all comes down to. Who do you think can do the better policy? The marketplace and the individual, or mother government? I go with the individual. Individuals create things. Government doesn't create things. They build things. They take money from everybody and they go and build things, and usually they spend more than they need to, and they throw a lot of it away wastefully. And so, yeah, government gets things done by building things. No doubt about it. But the problem is that if you allow individual entities to do it, private corporations and individuals to do it, and not let politicians to keep on choosing who's the winner and the loser. That's the problem. The government people want to choose who's the winner and who's the loser. Well, if they were that smart, why aren't they running their own hedge fund? That's what I say. So, and that's what the problem is. They have a natural tendency to want to believe that they can predict what's good for everybody. In other words, one size will fit all. And that is wrong. We all know one size does not fit all. And so that's, April personal spending up 0.8, and it was supposed to be up 0.4. So that's part of that stickiness, as they would say. Stickiness. So, and I told you, the core, I've been mentioning it here for months now, the core is not going to look good. It's going to look worse. Now, it'll get washed away because, the Federal Reserve is flooding the financial system itself, not the population, but with the overnight lending for lots of free money. So Citadel gets a free $1 billion a night to play with for officially one day. But unfortunately, for like the last 10 years, they keep on giving it to them every night. And it's like that with Merrill Lynch and Bank of America and JP Morgan and all of them. They all have little sweeteners to follow the rules. And so, of course, it's going to be sticky. Anyhow, that is what it is. Let's jump over to the next product. Let's take a look at the Swiss. The Swiss trying to back off a little bit. It's been gaining all week long. This is the third week in a buy with no problem. The daily buy went in the daily buy here. There's a green dot there, so it hasn't been into the sell. Or was it there? It might have gone into the sell right there. So it did go into the sell there. Let's steal this sell. We'll move that down like that. So it went into the sell there. Let's steal this buy. And went back into the buy right there. So pretty much the product has been drifting up much stronger than I was expecting. But again, Janos basically identified it very clearly, and that is every time inflation turns up, the dollar moves up, and that's because it's the only game in town, or in this case, I guess you could say it's the only game on earth, and until we can get our act together and get the rest of the countries of the world rowing. I mean, look at Poland. Poland's doing it. They're now the second largest industrial nation on the continent. And you can see Slovakia and the Czech Republic, and you can see Bulgaria and Hungary. They're all starting to really practice much more capitalism and less socialism. Unfortunately, the old, museum of Europe, France and Germany and so forth, Spain, Italy, they're trying their best to move away from it. I saw yesterday that the Germans basically said to the Greens, get over it. We're generating power. We don't care. Stop torturing us. People don't need to freeze to death. It boosts the dollar every time when it looks sticky. Indeed, indeed. All right. From the Swiss, we slide over to, and I just had a sip of my tea. We slide over to the yen, which seems to be on a personal little rampage at the moment, above the 140 now. In that weekly buy back here on the slow, it went into the weekly buy back here, down at the 132 area in the fast on the weekly. So it's been showing strength, and coming, and it doesn't seem to want to let go. And now it's been in the daily buy since basically the 136 area, or 135.80s or something like that. What's that? 135.70, 69.5 to be exact. 135.69 close. So here we are at 140 now, from 135.69. Let's see. Electricity prices in Finland flipped negative. Yeah, I heard about that because of the nuclear power and so forth. A huge oversupply of clean hydroelectric power meant suppliers were almost giving it away. We are next to them in a neighboring grid. That's good. I love that. Last summer, everyone installed sun panels on the roofs. Ugh. Now they are suffering major losses due to that. I know. These Greens are out of their minds. They defy Newton. They defy Maxwell. They defy Ohm, Faraday. They defy Volt. They defy Birkeland. They defy Galilei. They defy all the great scientists. They laugh at them and they say, "You don't know physics. We know physics. So let's spend 100 euros for something that's worth 30 euros." Yeah, it's always a subsidy program. Politicians. Yeah. Enough done, quotes windmills. Yeah, exactly. Don Quixote, that's it. Enough Don Quixote windmills. I hear you. A free market, politicians can never get it right, Janos. I swear, they never get it right. They're always, they think one size fits all. They have the sun in the sky generates 99.9% of our weather. Not mankind, not pollution. Pollution, yeah, on a local level, of course you can poison each other with no problem. But when it comes to the earth, it's the sun. The sun runs Earth, 99.9%. And you look at all the green writings, they give no credit to the sun at all. None. I remember one time I was telling somebody I was telling one of my sons that. And they went and they looked up on their phone. And they said, "That's crazy. You're telling me the Greens don't recognize the sun at all." I said, "None. Zero. None. They don't even. They believe the sun has no effect on Earth, except for putting the sun, shining on it each day. That's it. They think that we control the Earth." I said, "Look at that," and they kept on looking and looking. They said, "You're right. The Green parties and the Green activists say that everything on Earth is affecting us, but the sun." Yeah, well, when they recognize that the sun in the sky controls 99.9% of everything, lightning, it controls earthquakes, and you can predict earthquakes through the sun's activity, and you can predict lightning and rain through the sun's activity all the time. Yeah, what's the LNG going for over there, Giannis? Is it in the 26s? Until the Greens respect the laws of physics, not run around saying, "Oh, the majority of scientists say." The majority of scientists don't say. They're terrified to say anything, or you'll beat them up. That's what it seems to come down to at this point. They're scientists. They're eggheads. They're geeks. They're I said eggheads already, didn't I? They're not going to fight with the mob. They mostly see was in, is it most know that the Baltics just had to set up one nuclear plant to get connected to the Polish grid. We will buy LNG. Depends on the consumption. Let me look it up. Yeah, let's go over to Spain. I want to see my favorite energy company and see where they're pricing it right now. It was down below. It was almost at 26 yesterday. It was great. I was so excited. Me so excited. This is the way. Yes! Look at that. 25.91 offer. Come on, baby. Drop that into the 15s. Keep on falling. I find it insane what's going on. These greens are so unrealistic, so unscientific, so anti-evolution. They make no sense whatsoever, and I don't know why they get traction. I just don't understand it. Let's see. Yano says 202 per cubic. Oh, okay, good. Cubic meter. Now what do we do? We do a cubic foot, so that's probably like a lot more expensive. So 1.116 for firms taking in per year, but those were fixed in December. Yeah. Now we pay $2 a cubic foot. So that's half a meter. A cubic meter is twice the size of a cubic foot. So you're paying twice. Yeah, we pay for a cubic foot $2, basically, and so a cubic meter should be about 2.54 to a foot, a cubic foot, 35 cubic feet versus 4. So a cubic foot would be 2 times 2 is 4. So it's 4 versus 35, you're saying. That sounds about right. That's why that energy company in Spain is trading at 25.93. Okay. And a cubic foot would be 4. Would be 4 feet. 2 times 2. Right? Cubic foot? Let me just double check it, but I would assume that's what it is. Cubic foot. No, it says, oh, wait a minute. It says feet. Cubic feet. 1 cubic foot is the same as 1 foot. Right. So 2 times 2. Oh, wait a minute. It's not square. I'm sorry. It's cubic. So it's 3. So it's 2 times 4. So it's 3. Okay, so it's greater. So it's 12. So it's 12 versus what? 35, right? So I think that would be it. So that's what it would be. Yeah. So it's, we're still way cheaper because we're only we're just a cubic foot, not a square foot. Okay. I was thinking it was a square. So in other words, 2 times 2 is 4, and if you do another cube of it, 4 times 4 is 16. It's still half. Yeah, so it's 12. So I guess it's 2 would be 24, maybe? Let's see. So cubic foot covers 8 feet square. A cubic feet. Okay, so it's 2 times 2 is 4, and then 2 times 4 is 8. So that would make sense. So it's 8. Yeah, cubic meter. No, well, you got the cubic meter there, isn't it? And at 35.3. No, it's right. I think you're right there. A cubic meter. Yeah, that makes sense. Because the arbitrage, it's like, so instead of, so we're 5 times 8 is 35, right? 5 times 8, 40. All right, so 4 times is 32. So we're 4 times cheaper. A cubic foot should be 8 square feet. Because 1 cubic foot is, I guess it's, let's see, 1 cubic foot is 12, right? And so 12, so 2 cubic feet capacity dimensions. Let me think. So 2 cubic feet. You see, oh, and in the euros too. It's saying, well, euros, I just go flat, Better look at the euro and what you have on the yen. The yen, is, it's playing with that 140 again. It just doesn't let go. It just keeps on playing with that 40. Let's see. Let's see. The yen, I guess, the inflation. You know what? You probably said it best, as I've said twice now. Every time the inflation kicks up, the dollar shows strength. So Japan is really going through a very harsh inflation for the last 20 some odd years, since the 1990s. So that must be the influence we see. That's why sometimes it goes on its own. Yeah, so you can see there, and it's not letting go, that's for sure. And then from there, we shoot over to, where do we go to? From there, we go over to let's see, we do the peso. There's the peso, the king of the BRICS. You see, it's gone into a sell now yesterday. Let's put that in there, right there. And still in a weekly sell. So the pressure is basically, it's gaining against the dollar. Notice that the peso is not going, it's gaining against the dollar with this sticky inflation. It's not running away from it. It's actually going towards it. But then I thought, we saw the same thing in the euro too. The euro is looking better. There's the euro. Yeah, the euro is gaining against the dollar right now too. So this inflation didn't have as much of an influence as, we think it does, So there's the yen. All right, and then from the yen we go over to the Turkish lira. This weekend is the election. So I figure Aragon will win. It'll be done and over with, and we'll be seeing the illiquidity still. That's not going to stop the illiquidity of the Turkish lira. That's what the problem is, that it's been that way for a while now. I would be, imagine after he gets elected again, if the liquidity stops, then we know that what was happening is that money was running away because of their interpretation of what the election could be. So the Turkish lira right now, has been playing more of the upside today, but it's having a lot of flash crashes here and there. Let's put it up on J4X. It's just a liquidity problem, really, more than anything else. I mean, it just there's just not a lot of investors going into the Turkish lira at this point. And you can see the wild spikes, same thing, like right there or right there today, or deep down in here. You get these wild spikes. You see them there and there and there. It's just, and the poor dollar, Turkish lira is even worse. It's even more illiquid. And so that really turns into a real fiasco. So we'll see. We will see. But I would assume that one thing we're going to learn on Sunday, and that is that we'll find out if the illiquidity dries. We start to get liquid markets again in the Turkish lira, and they were anticipating the opposite from the election. Because I keep on reading some, really flip back and forth concepts. something about like the population really likes the president that they have now, and they don't want to change things. So I mean, the two major cities have, how cities are. They usually have very socialist liberal leadership most of the time. So the strength of the opposition is in the big cities. So that's the telltale. Maybe that's why we've been watching this illiquid situation. All right, from there we go over to, where do we go over from there? We go over to the Canadian. Let's see what the Canadian's doing. I thought oil was a little up today, so I'm assuming that Canadian should be trying to go down. It's down a little bit, but notice we've jumped through this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would have been the 7 here, and it's breaking out. It didn't come down and touch the line there. So now it's broken out of it, and you can see it's taking off. And you can see we've been in daily buy with that triangle for, what's that, 7 days now. And you can see we've been in the weekly buy for going on a third week. So this breakout here, the weekly buy gave us the warning that it was going to break the top of the triangle. This here. And I like how the math does that. It knows it so far ahead of time. It somehow or another knows it before we know it. And then you're sitting there going, do I really buy this? Do I really buy this? And that's why I say when you do it in binaries and options, you can afford to do it because you don't have to worry about it. You won't get stopped out. You already know what your risk is. You put the binary on. It goes on for days or weeks or whatever, and you're just playing it that way, and you can just sit back and go, okay, now let the Doc's math do the rest. And there it is. All right. That's the next when. There was the next when. Let's see if we can do this. We'll put that up there. There we are. That when was right there. The when. Right there was the when. And it was telling us here on the weekly, out of all this, aim that away, and if you had some spreads on, it goes on for a month, you're like raking it in right now. Exactly. And I always say time is your friend when it comes to options. When you're buying them, time is your friend. All right. From there, we go. Oh, you know what we do? We go over and we check out the. Okay. Let's see. What's that? Okay, there we go. So now what we would do is we'll go over and look at energy itself. And right there is crude oil spot. And it's up today. And that's why the Canadian is doing the opposite. It's not supposed to be doing the opposite. Let's go back to the Canadian. Oh, it is. Okay, it's heading down, right. It's not down a lot, but it's heading down. So that's what it's supposed to do. When oil is going up in price, Canadians should be gaining against the dollar. That's what happens. It goes down. That makes sense to me. So from there, we go over to the South African Rand and see what that looks like. And there is the South African Rand. And you can see it's moving down, so that means gold more than likely is moving up. So let's put it up on J4X. Right. Where are you hiding? Right there. And you can see it right there. It is up. It's green. This will turn soon. Give it another hour or two. It'll start to turn. You can see the green line is at 14.6. And the yellow one is at 24, so it is showing the pressure there. We closed in a buy yesterday. I guess we did. Gold closed in. No, that's the South African Rand. Now gold itself. Let's go check out gold. Right there. Gold has been in a sell for a couple of days here. It was in a sell. It started off in a sell in the 216 area, 220 area, and it stayed in the sell all the way down to basically 1950, and then it went into a buy for. No, it didn't go into buy. It's been in the sell ever since, so we can remove that. And so it hasn't been able to get into the buy. It's been in that sell for a long ride down. So you can see that pressure there, and it's a red dot, so it's not a buy. And then you can see the weekly was in a weekly sell here, but it missed it. We had it for a day. We had it as a sell, but it wasn't a weekly sell. But then we realized on Monday morning it missed it, and then they rolled over, and basically that's where, right there, and it really hasn't done much until this last 2 days. It's put some pressure on it, and gold seems to be just stumbling around. No compassion, no drive, just kind of stumbling around. Stumbling. All right, and then from there, what do we do from there? We go to, let's see, so we did the South African Rand and gold. So from there, we keep on going. We go right into silver. That's what it is. So let's see what silver's trying to do this morning. And there it is right there. It's trying to lift its head up. You got a green and a red. Let's see what it looks like over here. And there it is right there. And it's still moving down. You can see the yellow is at 17 and the green is at 14. So it's still pushing down in pressure. We've got a little bounce going on in here. As long as this keeps on doing that, we're going to see this start to head towards the green. And this will start to move up in the next couple hours. Okay. What else we got going on here? I guess that's about it there. Let's see now. So the next thing would be... Let's see, what would be the next thing? The next thing would be the copper. Let's see if China is doing any better today. Because when we look at copper, we look at China. I mean, we figure that's what that's trying to tell us. Yeah, see, they're putting some life into that. The green line is at 31. The yellow is at 19 or almost 20. So it's lifting up. And we go over to Chicago Quant. And there it is right there. Robin Reese will not be around today. He's definitely not around. Now you can see here it's trying to get into the buy also. See the green and the red, it's pushing up. We're through the zero line, just like we are over here, doing the same things. See, yesterday they started lifting that too. That was nice. They started putting the charge into it yesterday. They closed higher yesterday than the day before. And now it's joining in. The thing is that the weekly is not very pretty. So, yep, that's, I'm heading out at 9 to make minion. So, 9 your time. So, yep, that is the answer there. That is the answer. Copper is showing a little life there. That's nice. You would think so with the sticky inflation thing going on. You would think that they would start to lift this stuff up, From there, where do we go from there? Let's go over to platinum right there. There's the platinum. It's not doing too good a job. It's staying in that weekly sell with no problem. And the daily is trying to curve, but it's not curving enough. We'll see how they go. And it's kind of interesting. We've fallen from the 1150 area back down to the 1025 area, I guess you could say. So a $75 drop. Not exactly explosive, It is amazing. You go to a jewelry store and they want to charge so much more for platinum than they do gold. When you look at the futures contract, it's half the price. It's like, wait a minute. What's wrong with this picture? What's the malfunction there? Indeed. All right. So that basically does the what do you call it? The metals complex. Let's move over to the energies. There's the front month again. You can see oil moving up, but it's still in a sell. You can see here the weekly is trying to turn up. We are getting that itty bitty little turn there. And then we go back to the back month, 72.84 in the front, 72.71 in the back. So you're only talking 12 cents now. It's almost at parity. And this thing is playing with its weekly buy in September. It looks like it's going to be a weekly buy. There we are. And that's that. That's where it's at. Chances of it backing off will be very slim. It's not through the manifold, so it's not totally guaranteed. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it over here like that. But at least we have it there now. And then we go over to Nat Gas. There's the Nat Gas trading around $2.40 a cubic foot. And you can see it's going back into the weekly sell with no problem, through the manifold with no problem. As we've been saying all week long, the damage has been done. It's going to be a bumpy ride on the downside again. I think it's going to be a bumpy ride. There it is, right there. We can put that right there. So it's no worries, mate. It's heading down. In fact, we'll go like that and get rid of the circle even. And let's save that. Save workspace. Save workspace as. Yes. Exactly. And so that's the action we see there. And that gets like so. There we are. So then from there, I guess we go and we saw the Spanish company, which I'm really excited about. Let's put up on let's move it up onto J4X. Whereas here's our cubic foot. Where's our cubic foot? There's the cubic foot at $2.40, and then we go over to then we go over to right there, and it's it jumped up a little bit over to 25, but it's 25.96 bids, so that's cool. I mean, we've come down from like 28.60, 28.75, so that's not too bad. It's dropped a couple of euros, so that's good. As long as we see some type of downwardly motion, I feel, happier for the European community. And obviously I'm disappointed the other way around. So that's the way it goes. I hate the idea of all you guys having to pay so much for energy. All right, and then from there, what else do we got to look at? Oh, let's see what the Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin's all over the place. It's been in the daily sell for 4 days, but the weekly has jumped back up again, so we can put that back in again. Right there. There, and there. And this, remove that. I'm going to put that in there, the weekly. There we are. So it was very short-lived, 1 week, barely. I mean, really, it jumped into it right there. Like on Tuesday, they started jumping in on it, and then right there was the confirm. This one right here, that was the confirm that it was going to be in a weekly buy, and the last 2 days have been pressing up. So we'll see if Bitcoin can get some legs. Been very disappointed. We talked about Bitcoin here for a long while now as it being the leader of the equity market, but for some reason it's not doing it anymore. We're seeing the opposite of it. So what else we got going on here? Let's see now. Let us see. I guess that's about it when it comes to the. Oh, I know it is. Now we go to the stock indices. So you can see here the S&P 500 is trying to get going. It is trying to lift. And you can see on the short term right there, it is trying to lift in here too. It's been in a buy. It's joining into the buy right there again. So, basically that is where we're at. And so that's the gist of it all. And it doesn't look like it wants to let go. It just looks like it wants to keep on trying to climb. And so from there, what else have we got going on? Let's see. The Tech 100. Shall we take a look at the Tech 100? Where do we go from there? Right there. And so from there, there's the Tech 100. Where's it at? Right there. And it's been fighting to be in the buy for 3 days. And yesterday we had green and red, but it's been through the manifold, and through the zero line for 3 days now. And the weeklies never let go. It just keeps on pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, So it's kind of like
order cancelled.
Yeah, just kind of missing it at the moment. Just missing it. All right, now from there, we'll take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Let's see, where is it at? Right there. And you see there, it's trying to lift up. They've been knocking it down for days. Looks plus so far. We're up 76 points as we speak, so that's pretty cool. And we'll probably see some strength, over the next couple hours if it stays like this. But look at the weekly. Look at that weekly right there. It's basically trying to tell us no. It's no strength. No strength for you. No strength for you. That's what it's trying to tell us. And it's kind of interesting to see that too. It's underneath the manifold, whereas the others are, let's look at the S&Ps. Never, I don't think it ever, it even didn't even, it got close, but it's trapped, but it's above the zero line. The Tech 100, same situation. Right there, same thing. It's been roaring up, moving up nicely like that. Look at that. It jumped through there a couple weeks ago before all the big news came out. Now, at the same time, let's take a look at the Russell 2000, which looked pretty bad yesterday. And it's still looking not any better today. It's been in a sell since I guess not there. I guess yesterday finally pushed it into the sell. It's been having its issues. And it's at the same time, it's been in a weekly sell for 2, 3, this will be the 4th week in a weekly sell. Very tight. In other words, speculative money is not interested in getting involved. That's what it's screaming at us, telling us. It's not interested in getting involved. So, all right, traders, I guess that's about it. We'll all meet up here on Monday. Same time, same channel. So, this is Doc from North America, and I'll be honest, I'll put the title out in a few minutes. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Have a safe and smart weekend. We will see you on Monday. And let's go over to, we'll leave this in case Benny comes in and says, hey, can I see where my GBP AUD is? There it is, right there. Ta-ta for now. Bye-bye. Hey.